Okay, what I have open here is the settings note card from inside my store controller. And we're going to go over a few of these options. Some of them we'll leave for later videos, but we'll go over a few to get started. In the first section called defaults, there's a value called N reward and a value called G reward. These are your buyer's reward values. N stands for non-group, so this would be people who do not have your group tag on when they purchase. G stands for group, so this would be people who do have your group tag on when they purchase. And then these are the values that are used for them. Now, what the default values mean is that if a vendor doesn't specify a buyer's reward values, then it will fall back to the default values that are in the store controller. So if all of your vendors use the same values, or even the vast majority with just a few exceptions use the same values, there's no need to put those values on the vendor anymore. You can now put them in the store controller, and all of the vendors will use those values unless they are overridden somehow. So these are your global default values for those. We're going to skip the partners section for now, and we're going to skip the split sections for now. Those are going to come in later videos. We'll skip the sales one for a later video as well. Let's go all the way down here to the bottom to the price groups area. A price group is a way that you can group together like priced vendors. So for example, let's say you sell boots, and let's say that all of your mesh boots are all the same price. Well, instead of putting the price explicitly on each of those vendors that are in that type of item, what you can do is assign them all to a group instead. Then you can price the group inside of the settings note card. For example, let's say we wanted to say all of our boots sell for 200 linden, and let's say that all of our whatever you happen to sell, other shoes, let's say, go for 300 lindens. So these are now groups that are available for vendors. Putting these values into the settings note card doesn't actually do anything. What it does is make these groups available for vendors. So if you go create a vendor, instead of putting a price on it of 200 linden, you put a group on it instead called boots, and it automatically gets that price. Now here's the advantage of doing that. If next week you want to put all of your boots on sale, and that's the only thing you want to be on sale, all you need to do is come into the settings note card, come in here, change the price to be your sale price, save it, reset the vendors, and all of a sudden only those vendors will have the new price that are in the boots group. You don't have to go to the vendors and change them just to do a small sale. There's a way you can do a sale that's on the entire store, which we'll cover in a later video, but for doing just groups of vendors, you can just change the price of the group itself, reset, and all of those vendors that are in that group will have the new price. The other thing that you can do here on the end of this, the first item is the name, the second item is the price, the third item is the non-group reward value. Now we have default values here, but let's say, for example, that we want any vendors in this group not to use the default values. We can put a 0 there, let's say, and let's say that the next value on that line will be the group reward, and let's say that we wanted these to be a higher group reward because we want an incentive for our group members to buy these boots. Anyway, that's a way that you can do you can override the default values. This can also be done on the vendor, which I'll show in another video, but for now, a price group can override those values too. If you don't put them, they'll use the default values. And again, this is a kind of thing that you can come in and change at any time. Save the note card. When you do save it, what you'll see is, as soon as it does save, that the store controller notifies you that things have changed. You click it, it'll read the new values. You can go in and look at the values, and it'll show you exact price values. If we look here at local chat, here's local chat, you can see that now that the boots are priced at 100 linden, and they have 0 non-group rewards, and their group rewards are going to be $10 of store credit. So you can review these values, look at your defaults. If everything looks good, then that's when you would update the vendors, and away you go.